Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Spider-Man, and welcome to a new little series that I'm going to be starting where I simply go around and kind of review, like, okay, yeah, it is literally reviewing games, and yeah, I just go and review games, with a little bit of just trying to, make it funny, I guess, in a way. This just feels really weird doing this thing. From now on, it's just going to be, the intros after this are going to be actually, like, just me talking about the game I'm going to be doing. So yeah, Destiny 2. Is it really worth $60 and like 35 extra for DLC? Honestly not. Although the game feels pretty good and gives you nostalgia if you've played Destiny 1. Other than that, there's not that much really good with the game. Like, it has some good aspects. When you look at the big picture, it's just not worth buying. It's fun for about the first week or so, but then it just starts to get unfun from there. The story, definitely not long enough. It was kind of bland in some spots, especially the missions on Titan, where all you really did there was just you kind of just walked into Titan and went, no, I've restored power, and then just kind of, left. The final boss, or Gaul, was just terrible. All you do is just use your super, like these little light sources come up, and in the missions where you get your supers, and you walk in there, and you get your super, you super him, then he goes away, like he gets in like a little immune phase. You kill some enemies that spawn on the side, you get your super again, and then you just do the same thing over and over until he's dead. It wasn't very fun considering, all the hype that was around it, pretty much through the entire rest of the story. Pretty much through I don't know why I did that. Fucking horse. Jesus. I was able to do it on, like, the first try, and I wasn't even too super duper concentrated, which, I mean, if it's a final boss, usually it's gonna take me a lot more. Because even though I'm kind of a pretty hardcore gamer, it final bosses usually take me a couple attempts, but this one, it was just so easy. It wasn't even that long either. It didn't feel fun. The cutscene was longer than the actual fucking boss fight, so that was great. It just seemed too easy to be the final boss of the story, or like any story. It just felt way too easy. And then after that, what's there? Oh, some DLC. That's great. DLC already, because it wouldn't be a true Destiny game if there wasn't DLC. Curse of Osiris, the DLC story. It was of course short because obviously, DLC story is going to be shorter than game story, but it's way too short. I was able to complete it from start to finish in about 3 to 4 hours, even when I had to grind in between occasionally to get up to the required level for a certain mission. It was very easy. It was very quick. It was more intriguing than the base game story because you're like talking about like, oh, there's this infinite forest that you get to go through and stuff like that. It was fun, not super fun. It just felt rushed, like it's just a race to the final boss kind of. It was a disappointment. And the boss, the Hive Mind, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Although he was harder than the base game's boss, it was just not super hard. I was able again to do on my first try, even though it was a final boss. But I did have a little bit of trouble in some phases. But yeah, and of course, another thing that came in DLC were the verses. And they're just kind of like a side mission that you can do to get weapons and gear that usually have a higher level than the one you currently have, but they're super grindy and they take a while, but they do give you something to do, and I think that was nice. But I think it would be nice if they were a bit faster to do and there were more of them available, just to make the process a bit easier and a bit more fun. So you just grind a bunch out. I think that would be a lot more fun than sitting there grinding one for 3 hours and then grinding another like an hour, 2 hours maybe, but three just Oracle day almost, with some, just a bit too much. Most of the weapons themselves aren't really worth it, just the power level, so yeah. Okay, so moving on to the end game of the The end game, it's just there's nothing. There's no real end game. Like you can do the raid and the nightfall as much as you want, but if you don't do it, you can still get that activity-specific gear, like the raid gear, and like the weapons, just from RNG. You're just being in a clan that does it, and it just kind of defeats the purpose of that activity-specific gear. You know, like if you want the raid gear but can't do the raid, you just gotta grind a bunch and you'll end up getting it. Takes a lot longer, but it sure as hell works. And if you want that raid gear, it's good. You should go play the raid if you want to, but in my opinion, it's just not worth it. Of course, this wouldn't be a video complaining about Destiny 2 if I didn't talk about the silver system or the microtransaction system, Eververse. Although you can get the engrams that you do buy with the silver by just simply grinding, you can also get them by buying them with real-world money, which I usually don't have a problem with as long as it's just, cosmetic items. But it still feels kind of scummy. It still feels like they're just trying to milk money out of you. Why can't they just make the engrams easier to obtain so that it's not necessary to get them instantly? Like, I paid for the game, I feel like I should be able to get that content that's in the game already. And, Bungie, why do you need more money when the game costs $60 and the DLC is $35? Which, by the way, you've only given half of so far, Bungie. Okay, just half of our DLC. I don't know why they didn't just split it up into two, $10 things instead of making it $35. Didn't feel like it was worth 10, but anyway, enough with DLC. But I don't have too much of a problem with it, just because it's still cosmetic items and you don't need them. But I don't see why I should have to pay more money to get items that are already in the game that I bought with money. But speaking of engrams, this is where I get really angry at Bungie for some stuff. The Dawning engrams, event that recently happened. I don't think it's going on anymore. But you can buy these with silver, just like the bright engrams, the ones that you get from Eververse, that you can just get from grinding. Which, of course, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, I don't have too much of a problem with it. It still feels like you're just trying to milk money out of them, but the thing wrong with these is that, even though there's 4 pieces of armor that they teased for each class, you only get 2 fucking engrams, and that's it. No, you can't get any more unless you pay money. Only 2 for free. Period. That's just, but guess how you get the others? By spending real money. It's just, it's stupid. I got super excited for the event. I looked at that armor and it was like, oh my god, that's super cool. I'm actually, happy to grind for that and get that to look really cool. But I just find out that I need to spend a bunch of extra money to Bungie and Activision to get the damn armor that they teased. Just seems, they're trying to milk money out of the consumers by just putting in a bunch of microtransactions that just give them more money, And another thing that they did from the Dawning, they made special shaders for the event, which is fine, but if you got them from different vendors, such as if I went to Eververse and got some, and then I got some from the gunsmiths, let's say, they do not stack. They don't stack if you get them from different places. So you have 2 different stacks of inventory. So you just get 1 less inventory slot just for them being from different places. The hell type of bullshit is that? So I have less inventory space now. Thanks, Bungie. Thanks. So now I can keep 1 less shader and 1 less transmat effect in my freaking inventory. It's just so scummy. Another pretty big fucking problem with the Dawning. The biggest problem I think I have with this, I can't get the armor, wah. It's the Nova Bomb glitch. It basically makes the super recharge for a Warlock that has Nova Bomb equipped literally 0. It's relatively easy to pull off, and it just makes Mayhem completely unfun. It normally actually is pretty fun, but they had a glitch where it's just not fun, where you just... If, you got 3 Warlocks on your team, they're just going to spam Nova Bombs in one place the entire game, so you can't get to them. And then, you use your super, and they're spamming their Nova Bombs, so they're basically, invincible. But, okay, that's a glitch, Bungie will fix it, right? Yeah, no, fuck you. Have fun in Mayhem. Bungie said they would not fix it until the dawning ended. Here's a quote straight from the Bungie Help Twitter page. As teams continue to investigate an issue impacting the cooldown for the Voidwalker super ability within the Mayhem playlist, we've determined that the issue will not be addressed before the dawning ends in 2018. But of course, Mayhem will be gone by then. And the point of fixing the glitch, gone with it. There's no point in fixing the glitch unless they bring Mayhem back, which I guess I can understand. But why didn't they fix it? Why didn't they oh, we have a bunch of glitches here that we need to fix. Oh, there's this huge glitch that we should probably fix to make the Mayhem fun and make our event actually kind of good. Nah, screw that. We're doing that when the dawning ends. No, get out of here, you stupid glitch, alright? You know? Just get out of here, alright? I'm done, you know? They're just, they're milking money out of people. They're not good. They're good developers, I respect Bungie. I respect the old Bungie. The new Bungie just seems terrible. They are pretty terrible. Destiny 1 was good, but they kind of started to screw up near the end, especially when that first DLC came out. Such as the stuff where they took it away. They did that in Destiny 2, but then they fixed it, so I don't have too much problems with that. But what I do have a big problem with here, that kind of links in with the Nova Bomb glitch, is the fact that there's no PTR. There's no testing servers. And, Bungie's excuses for it is that they want players to be surprised by the new content. But why? Who cares if I'm surprised by the new content if it doesn't even fucking work in the first place? Such as, no PTR is why the Warlock glitch and many others got through to the final release because there's very, very minimal testing. I can understand if a glitch gets through every so often, and, they fix it, but then they don't even try to fix it for 2 fucking weeks. It's just bad. They're not... New Bungie is just bad. I loved Halo Bungie. Halo Bungie is my favorite, and I honestly think people are saying, hey, okay, this is a little bit off topic here, but people are saying, hey, 343 isn't doing good at Halo. Let's give it back to Bungie. No, I'm not giving... Do not give Halo back to Bungie. We need to just go, we need to fight through, just grind through with that 343 Halo, because if we give it to this Bungie right now, this Bungie right here, they will screw it up because Activision, they've signed with Activision. Activision is a bit to blame here because they're just a bunch of greedy fucks. So, there's that. But all in all, the game isn't really worth it unless, you only want like a week and a half of joy for $60, maybe even $95 if you buy the DLC, which again, we only have half of, but, just shove that under the carpet. Although, Bungie can't be put to blame, Activision, just how bad the partners, they're just, they're greedy. But even with that point, Bungie still has a lot to prove on, and although I don't really have too much faith in them anymore, I think they might be able to turn it around in the spring when the next DLC comes out, hopefully, or maybe even before then. And I will be making another video when that comes out, just to, see if Bungie pulled through and fixed most of the game, or do they just keep making more and more mistakes, making the game worse and worse. I'll see if, I'll make a video, telling you guys, if you still haven't bought the game by then, if they've pulled through, and if it's good. But yeah, that's all I've got on this topic, this Destiny 2 topic. It's kind of a short one, giving you basic stuff. You can go watch other reviews that go really in-depth about this stuff, but this is kind of a quick one. Get the first episode down, just on... I picked an easy target, let's just be honest here. But, yeah, so go ahead and subscribe for more videos like this one. And, like the video if you, liked the video. Mine's Butterman. And I'll see you all in the next video.